Welcome back. Episode 3, 5 questions with Zookeeper. Remember the name this time. Jacob Norris, Zookeeper. Question 1. Aside from them being a food source for other animals, why do we care about worms?
Worms play a major part in decomposition. So when things die or things start rotting or when things return to the earth, worms help um, turn those things back into the earth. So they help with a lot with decomposition, decomposing things. So yeah, without worms uh, helping that process along, well, I don't know where I was going with that. Worms help with that process. And that is why they are important because they do help with that decomposition process.
And as we like to say, if you're stressed or think you're important, just remember at the end of the day, you will also be worm food.
Yes, you will.
Question 2. Why are opossums or possums protected by state and federal law?
They are native wildlife, and if I'm not mistaken, all native wildlife are protected in some form or fashion. So that's why you can't have them as pets, or you can't legally have them as pets. It's because they are protected species, and with the rest of native wildlife. That is why. It's because they're native. We want to keep them around. We want to keep them uh, as is because they are very important to our ecosystem. Uh, possums are possums are kind of the nomads of the American animals. They help keep down that tick population. So if you in the summer when you got ticks crawling around everywhere, you kind of want a possum around because they help keep that population down. Yeah, it's mostly because they're a native species and we protect all native species.
So quit swerving for them and pay attention when you're out there
Yeah,
driving.
they,
Redford.
they cause no harm to anything. They may get in your trash, but they cause no harm to anything. So leave them alone.
Question 3. Can turkeys reproduce without fornicating?
Surprisingly, they can. They do this through a process or what's called parthenogenesis. Um, it's more well known in some different reptile species. I think snakes, pretty common. Um, so they can. It's a form of asexual reproduction, so they don't necessarily need another to be able to reproduce. I think in reptiles, or if snakes that I'm thinking of, most of the time when this occurs, the entire clutch or the entire uh, all of the babies are usually female. With turkeys, I think it's the opposite. I think most of the time when the parthenogenesis occurs, it's most of the babies, if not all, are male. I don't really know personally why that is, but it has something to do with uh, I think maybe different temperatures or different just I don't know. Just I know that that is what it is, and that's you know
They don't need no woman. Uh, Strong words, big words in there for a Union County graduate, parthenogenesis and stuff. Question 4. What would hurt worse? Kangaroo kick, bald eagle bite.
uh, hmm, that's a tough one to answer. My guess would be a kangaroo kick. I think kangaroos can produce somewhere around 750 to 800 pounds of force. And I think bald eagles' bites are several hundred pounds of force as well. A bite would be more localized, so it would just be to that one area that it gets you. Um, The kangaroo kicks, it depends on where they hit you at. If they hit you in the right spot, it could mess up a whole bunch of stuff internally, and which would cause a lot of pain later on. So I think the grand scheme of things, the kangaroo ultimately would probably win that. But I guess it depends on how you process pain.
Question 5. How strong is a harpy eagle's grip strength? Pressure skull. Bonus question.
I think it is possible that they could. I think that I want to say that harpy eagles are also in that several hundred pounds of pressure. So it may take the right circumstances and grabbing at the right spot, but I'd say yes, it probably is possible that they could crush a skull. That's a lot of pounds of pressure and on bones. So that's ultimately what breaks it. Pressure breaks stuff. So probably.
Okay. All right.